Welcome back. You are listening to the Mari Mukonda Show on Salam Media. It is 11:13 on this third day of February 2021. Most people who develop coronavirus disease recover within 2 to 6 weeks, but some experience lasting symptoms. Others may develop complications, require rehabilitation after a hospital stay, or both. Let's hear from our guests what the after effects that they experienced were. I have our fitness trainer, Luyanda Aziza, on the line, Dineo, Nomayeza, as well as Salam Media's IT and technical administrator, Ibrahim SA, joining me to talk to us a little bit more about their experiences. And I'd like to start first with my in-studio guest, Ibrahim SA. Assalamu alaikum, Ibrahim.
Wa alaikum salam.
All right, so Ibrahim, tell us about your experiences with COVID-19.
Okay, basically from my end, my mom was tested positive. So due to her being tested positive, all of us had to go into isolation. So we were advised by our doctor that, you know what, you don't have to go and test due to the fact that you already have a family member who has been tested positive. So we were in isolation, and I only went for the test when we came out of isolation, which was already by then negative. But in that time, we had all these symptoms of COVID-19. So we were treated as a COVID-19 patient either way. So one of the main things 2 days prior after my mother tested positive is I developed like a complete body ache, which is very, very, very painful. Together with that, I had a sore throat and a very bad migraine.
So these were the symptoms that you experienced when you thought that you had COVID.
Yes, and then afterwards, then another symptom that I received was that, you know, when you actually go swimming and you accidentally the water actually goes up your nose, you get that feeling that goes up your brain or something to the back of your head. It was something like that, like the drowning feeling that I had whenever you take a deep breath. That is the feeling that I had. So we had to actually just wait it out. The doctors didn't want us to take anything apart from just the vitamin tablets that would be used to boost your immune system. And basically, all of this advice was also they got the COVID team of Roshni that used to make sure that you must take your oximeter on your fingers and give them daily readings 3 times a day, morning, afternoon, evening, continuously. And then if something wasn't right, they had an ambulance standby as well.
All right,
So that
mashallah.
is how
And
Roshni's COVID team management.
did you experience a loss of appetite?
Not really much, slightly, but not much.
And did you experience like a heavy chest? Because some people experience that and mentioned that they felt like something was on them, but they couldn't explain what it was.
No, lucky for me, it was just body ache, right? Body ache, your sore throat, which was bad as well, and the drowning feeling and migraines. That's all. And then once after that all worked out of my system.
All right, let me get to Luyanda and Dineo, who are on StreamYard right now. Assalamu alaikum to both of you.
Walaikum
salam, Mariam. How are you?
Alhamdulillah, good, thanks, and yourselves?
Good, great.
Good, thank you.
All right, Danielle, I know that you spoke about your COVID experiences very early when you had it. And one of the symptoms you mentioned was about that heavy chest. Take us through that a bit, and what did that feel like?
Well, I didn't experience a heavy chest. The problem that I had was that I couldn't taste or smell. In fact, that was the only symptom I had. So I got into work and I thought it was just a regular cold or flu. I got into work, and as soon as I got to work, when I, ticked off that what you call it, that register, the principal was like, actually just go and taste, because that's the only symptom I had. So I went in and I was so surprised to actually have the test come out positive, you know. I didn't cough, no sneezing, no heavy chest, nothing, no other symptom. I was just my normal self, but I couldn't taste anything. And unfortunately, this is just still something that I struggle with till today. There's certain foods, especially cooked food, I can't taste cooked food at all. So I've resorted to just trying to be on a kind of a raw diet so that I can actually taste my food, especially meat products. So if I have vegetables or, you know, raw food, it's okay, and fruit. But the minute I eat any meat products, it's almost as if the taste bud for meat is gone. I don't even know how to make sense of it. But that's the only thing that is an after effect, even, you know, even like till today. I was nervous though because I'm living with my mom who has a comorbidity, and that was just one of the things that I was really, really scared about because I didn't want to infect her in any way. So we had someone come in and just fog the entire house, and I just pretty much stayed in my room for 2 weeks. But I came out just the same way that I went into my room in isolation, and that was pretty much it.
And what about you, Luyanda? What are some of the symptoms that you had with the COVID-19, and are they still there now, even after you've recovered?
Okay, so for me, unfortunately, I got it quite bad. I was surprised that I kind of like got it that bad because I always thought, oh my God, I'm so fit, I'm so this, I'm not gonna get it. Never mind not getting it, but I thought if I get it, I'll just breeze right through it. But unfortunately, I had the loss of sense, loss of taste and smell, which I still have now. That same feeling of drowning, I had that. It was so uncomfortable because it's almost as if you're exposed to too much air in your nasal cavity, and then it gives you this headache. I had that, and it's exactly like that. It feels like you're drowning. And then I had a loss of appetite, which was really difficult for me because I was trying to still train throughout. And unfortunately, I did experience quite a big drop in my oxygen levels. I did struggle to breathe quite a few times, and I was actually hoping that I wouldn't go to the hospital. But as I was seeing my numbers decrease on the oximeter, I thought, oh my God, I started getting scared and I started panicking. And also, I just wanted to chat about, besides the actual physical symptoms that we know, there were a lot of emotional and psychological effects that I experienced with the virus, panic attacks. Almost every day I was waking up to like a cold sweat and couldn't breathe. And I knew that there's a difference between not being able to breathe and actually having a panic attack, which I had more of those than less. And also emotionally, I couldn't see my kids. My son would walk to the window, which was difficult because I'm very close with my kids, who isn't. And the fact that I couldn't be around them was hard on me. And brain fog. So because I'm also somebody who writes and edits, I could not write and edit I thought, oh my God, I'm just going to go into isolation. I'll edit everything that I need to do. I'll be done. By the time I get out, oh my God, everything will be fine. I could not read a sentence. It was very difficult. And my doctor did explain to me that because the virus can actually affect you neurologically, the brain fog, the loss of sense of taste and smell are all neurological symptoms that presented themselves. So, geez, I mean, I could go on, but because I'm also very attuned to my body and I listen and I know every single thing that happens with my body, I also did experience some weight loss, obviously because of not eating. But yeah, everything resolved itself. This virus is kind of like clockwork because day 8, they tell you this is how you're going to feel. Day 9, day 10, and that's exactly how I felt. And by the time I got into about day 11, 12, 13, I was actually really just coming out of the worst of the symptoms. So that's me. Yeah.
And still with you, Luyanda, do you feel like, or rather, as a fitness trainer, do you feel like your fitness journey has helped you with the recovery process?
Absolutely. Look, I was a bit, I had to really take it easy because I couldn't skip, because the skipping puts a lot of pressure, I think, on just your breathing. And I wasn't breathing at my optimum. So that was difficult. But every single morning I would walk and, on the treadmill or on the elliptical, and I would do some very light weights, and it helped to, so what I would do is I tweaked my fitness regimen to focus on the following things: opening up my chest cavity, which is really just doing a lot of yoga and a lot of stretches and a lot of breathing to open up the chest, because as we know, the virus, with the mucus being like a glue that kind of makes the lungs smaller, the most important thing was to open that up. So I did a lot of yoga, a lot of Pilates, and just my back, because my back, I had extreme back pain. So I had to work on that. So it was a matter of, I knew in my head, because I've done some anatomy and all that stuff, I know what needs to be done in terms of my training regimen to be able to get better, So I do think that that helped me a lot, especially with the breathing.
All right, back to our in-studio guest, Ibrahim. Do you feel like after those symptoms that you experience, like your body is not the same as it was before having those symptoms?
Actually, no. It's like I'm back to normal.
Mm-hmm. So
That was it.
normal, you can continue and go about your life like everything was before.
Yes, I think I had it very mild compared to a lot of other
Mhm.
people I have spoken to about. I think I had it very mild. It might have been painful due to the body pains and everything, but
Mhm.
compared to other people, I think I had it mild.
So it kind of felt like a mild flu.
Sort of, yes. For me, it was like a mild flu and just that, like a fever generally, where your whole body aches like a fever and sore throat and headaches and whatnot. But just for me, the extra thing was just a drowning feeling.
Mhm. I think I've experienced a drowning feeling, but this is before the whole advent of COVID-19. But a mild drowning feeling. It's this whole nasal passage thingy. Yeah, but this was before COVID. I never had COVID, but we never know what we experienced or didn't experience. Coming back to Dineo, do you feel like your body is not the same after having COVID?
Blessed because when I speak to people who've had COVID, I have a friend who's just gotten out of ICU a few days ago. And I really feel blessed that I didn't have to go through like a lot of the symptoms that people had. But I really started to pay careful attention to what I am putting into my body. And I got inspiration from Luyanda actually because she's vegan. So when I couldn't taste my meat, I'm like, maybe I should just quit it altogether because I did quit meat for a while and then I went back. So now that my body's just not responding to or having, being able to taste meat anymore, I'm just like, let me just quit it anyway. So I'm very conscious now about what I'm putting into my body and what I actually do to stay healthy. I do feel stronger, I think, more than before because I think we take for granted if you have good health. So just to say thank you to Allah and just to thank my body, I'm just trying to stay healthy, I'm exercising more now just because I know that my body did that. It just kicked that COVID to the curb. So I'm just trying to show gratitude in that way, using my health and my youth just to stay healthy. But I'm a bit nervous though, and I don't know what the information is out there. And I'm hearing, maybe you can, I don't know if someone can answer if you can get it twice, because I thought I'm immune now. I was living my best life, and then I heard, you shouldn't be doing that. You should still use all the preventative measures to not get this variant that's supposedly going around now in South Africa. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Feeling very strong, very positive.
Mhm. And what advice would you like to give to our listeners and our viewers?
With regards to COVID,
Yeah.
I don't know, Miriam. I feel like my story is pretty unremarkable because, as I said, I didn't get sick. I didn't get sick. I didn't have the emotional turbulence and feeling panicky or nervous. The only thing I was worried about was just my mom getting infected. So I really have nothing to say except that each day just take the necessary precautions that you need to. Don't expose yourself unnecessarily. And I know that nobody who's gotten it, especially I didn't get it because I was just being reckless. I got it because I was going to get it anyway, But just take all the necessary precautions. And when you do get it, just try to stay calm as possible. Tell your body that you're going to heal. The mind is a very powerful thing. So I think the way that we speak to ourselves and the information that we keep hearing about COVID is what we need to be conscious of every day so that your body and your mind can do what it needs to do to get you into a better state.
And Luyanda, you had it quite bad, as you mentioned. So, what advice would you like to give as to our listeners and our viewers?
Well, look, I am also very grateful because even though it was bad, I was able to get better. I think the emotional, don't ignore, one of the things I want to say, don't ignore your mental health and mental hygiene and helping yourself get through it, because I was also feeling very guilty because I got it first, then my brother got it, then my mom got it. And so I felt like, oh my word, I've made my parents and my family sick. But, you know, you've got to really take it easy on yourself, because it's not something that is, you know, even if you were out there living your best life, quote unquote, and you got it, we're in a global pandemic, and it's difficult to say that you're going to now take on the blame. So be easy on yourself. And you know, a lot of the things that I did were holistic. So I completely went on a raw vegan diet the whole time, the whole 2 weeks that I was, you know, that I was sick. And then I also tried my best to steam. I mean, I was steaming, I think, like 2 or 3 times a day. And that is what I believe brought me back to life. So I think I'm not a representative of World Health Organization or anything. I just want to say what worked for me was a lot of steaming and, you know, keeping hydrated. That was very important because, you know, I also had diarrhea. Gosh, as if I didn't have enough symptoms. You get the diarrhea and whatever. So steaming, keep hydrated, eat a lot of raw foods and a lot of raw fruits, and try to get, as much as I know that there's vitamins that are available over the counter, it's great. There's like a little COVID care package, but try to get a lot of your vitamins from, you know, natural foods like, you know, oranges, apples, bananas, zinc, magnesium from bananas, and potassium, and just get more knowledge on what foods have the vitamins that are in these bottled supplements. Because you know, one thing I did want to say is that because the supplement industry is not regulated. So if you're taking vitamin C and it's 1,000 milligrams, you ask yourself, is it 1,000 milligrams? Because it's not regulated. So the advice that I would give to people is an orange doesn't need to be regulated, honey. It is vitamin C, and we know exactly how much vitamin C is in an orange, is in a strawberry, is in, you know, a lot of the other citrus fruits that we know. So stick to your natural raw foods, and that will really, really help your body. Because as much as I remember my mom went through a bit of an episode as well where she couldn't breathe, and the very first thing I did was I made her a smoothie because she hadn't eaten the whole day. And remember, the body's fighting, it's in fight mode. So if it needs vitamin A or vitamin K and it doesn't know where to get it, you know, it can really not be good for you. So the minute I made her a smoothie, she started to feel better, you know, and I was very impressed because I was like, wow, this stuff really works. You know, food is health. So that's what I would really say, without really going on too long, is mental health, stick to your natural foods, and just be easy on yourself.
All right. And Ibrahim, on your side, what advice would you give to people, and what should they take, or rather, what worked for you?
Okay, the previous guest who just spoken, she literally mentioned everything I was thinking of saying. So, but the only thing I can add on is that the one thing that wasn't spoken about is home remedies. Right, in Roshni, the Roshni COVID team actually drops off home remedies by all of the COVID patients, not just the Roshni COVID team, also the Val Muslim Women's Forum. The Val Muslim Women's Forum have put together some form of what they call an immune system booster. And I've actually got the recipe for it if anybody actually wants it. That put together with a bit of instructions on that. I can forward that. And if you take this as 3 times a day, or if, as often as possible, it would actually strengthen your immune system, because it's made up of natural ingredients like ginger and a whole lot of other stuff as well.
All right. So shukran to you, and shukran to you ladies as well for your time and for sharing your experiences with us. I hope that it will go a long way into helping our viewers and listeners who have the symptoms, first of all, and who have no idea where to start when it comes to this whole COVID-19 journey. Have a wonderful day. Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum salam.
Right, that was my guests, Luyanda Aziza, Dineo, Nomayeza, and Ibrahim Essay, taking us through their journey with COVID-19. So many people will experience different symptoms because we are all not the same, and our bodies react and receive things differently. So if you have some of the common symptoms, if you are experiencing some of the common symptoms, then you can go for a COVID test. And like Luyanda said, don't panic. And Dineo said the mind is a powerful tool. So be positive and think about a positive outlook towards the end. I mean, it's not your fault. It's not your fault that you get the virus, and it's not your fault that you spread it to your family members. If they are meant to get it, they will, just like you did. But if you can take the necessary precautions, then do so. Sanitize, wash your hands as often as you can, and keep a safe social distance when you are out in public. If you have any further comments, questions, queries, or suggestions, please leave them in the comments section below or send them to us on WhatsApp. The number is 061 766 0355. We will be right back after the break.